everyone, today I've got my Promising Young Woman movie review. On a quest for sweet revenge, a woman makes it her mission to go after guys to mend a painful past. But was this movie still worth watching? So as far as the story goes, Emerald Fennell directs this wild and dark thriller that takes this one woman who wants a secret to come to light in the form of pretending to be drunk to get to guys who obviously have other things on their mind. And it is actually kind of scary to see something like that play out on screen. I mean, I feel like I've seen movies like that before, or TV shows where scenarios like this happened and it didn't always end well, but this is like a complete 180 of that concept. And it is just so crazy how this all plays out. And it has this shocking subject that would make you either mad or want to cry or even sometimes make you laugh. I mean, this isn't a completely dark movie. Like, there are some things that, yeah, you probably could chuckle at, but I felt like it was a slightly edgier film that had, this vibrant aesthetic, and some of the scenes definitely utilized that very well, and it makes the movie stand out with scenarios that could be realistic in a way. Like, you could actually see some of this stuff play out in this way, not really end up being this over-the-top fantastical sort of way, where you would question if something like this could actually happen. And also, the format of this movie was one where I feel like I have seen this done before, where it plays out in chapters, and the transition, and as each transition comes on, it gets me even more excited to see exactly what is going to happen next. Now, as far as the casting goes, Carey Mulligan in the lead plays Cassandra, and this is a role where I feel like it might be one of her best performances, because when you see her put on this persona every time she's going out to, meet up with all these guys, and it's impressive to see her embody, this type of role, and you could just tell by the look on her face, where it looks like, she's, playing drunk, and then all of a sudden it gets intense. And it's with these kind of emotions that I feel like fits perfectly with the tone of the movie, and you don't know whether to side with her or run away from her. Bo Burnham, who, like actor turned director Emerald Fennell, plays the nice guy who you would hate to see finish last, especially when he is essentially playing the love interest that gets Cassie out of her routine of going after all these guys. And there are actually plenty of other actors that I noticed throughout this movie, and I was like, hey, this is a lot of, well-known actors that, are in these smaller roles, but they play them off in the way that you would expect. Now, the things that I liked about this movie was that I thought the cinematography was cool to look at, and it oozed this feminine vibe that you would get from other movies like Birds of Prey or even Bombshell. And I felt like the movie's soundtrack fit perfectly with the movie, and I loved that rendition of Britney Spears' Toxic. It was pretty awesome, and it was different than what it was in the trailer, but just made this movie adding more to that edginess. But unfortunately, the things that I didn't really like about this movie was that the pacing was what threw me for a loop, and not always in a good way. When the encounters with the men are over and Cassie moves on to the next thing, it gets a tad uninteresting, and I really didn't want to be bored watching this movie. And I'm not going to give away the ending, but I feel like it was forced or rushed, and while I didn't exactly see it coming, like certain elements of this movie were probably predictable, I think it left me a bit disappointed. So overall, I would say that this was still a pretty well done movie. I thought it was very unique for what it was, and I enjoyed certain parts of it. And I think that the highlights were definitely the acting from Carey Mulligan. And so I would still recommend seeing this movie, and I would give this 4 hearts on the heart rate scale. So let me know in the comments what you guys thought of Promising Young Woman. And as always, you guys can subscribe to my channel. I've got more movie reviews, movie updates, come back every week for a Chill Thursday video. You guys can also like me on Facebook and follow me on Twitter, and I will see you guys later.